Hi, this is Taylor Molly in the middle of the summer with an idea for a fun activity that you can do with your students to get them more familiar with metaphor and how more comfortable with how easy it is to just invent a metaphor. And it involves these three die, red, white, and blue, because it is July after all that I'm filming this. And here's how it works. You start by filling in all of the blank squares on the red shape, which will later be folded up and taped into your red cube. These are for what we call the big nouns, or the red concepts. These are the things that you will be using the metaphor to describe. The example word is love. So you fill in the blank squares with other big concepts. These are the things you like to write about: loneliness, the heart, democracy, poetry, and childhood. Then you move on to the adjectives. The diagram looks gray on the piece of paper, but once you cut it out and put it next to the red and the blue die, it will look white. The sample word is wordless. You ask your students to come up with 5 other adjectives like wordless, stillborn, whispered, silent, old, and undiscovered. Lastly, you move to the blue objects, also called the small nouns. These can be humbler things you can either touch or point to, and the example word is prayer. You come up with, these can be quirky too, like most improved trophy, a kiss, a shrine. These are the things, the objects that will be compared to your red concepts, your bigger nouns. Big nouns are small nouns. A big noun is a wordless small noun. Once every box is filled with the appropriate word, you cut the entire thing out. All the directions end up being part of the trash. Then you fold, all right? It's important to do all your folding before you do any more cutting. It makes it easier once the shapes are cut out to fold it into the cube. Separate the shapes and then start taping them together. You'll very quickly learn that small pieces of tape work better. You don't actually have to tape every single edge. And you end up with 3, 1 for each part of speech, obviously. As you can see, it's pretty flimsy and very light. That comes in handy, actually. You take all 3 and you throw them up in the air and let them land and see what you get. In this case, let's see, poetry is a undiscovered prayer. No, it's not. It's a discovered prayer. Or what about you throw them up and you get, you arrange them quickly into red, white, and blue, that patriotic theme. We get the heart is a stillborn shrine. They're so light that just barely touching the blue one, boom, prayer. It's a most improved trophy. It's a moon. It's a moon. The heart is a stillborn moon. Obviously, some work, some don't. Some you look at and say, no, it's not. That doesn't work at all. But even the ones that don't work are instructive and often funny. And then what you do, if you have the whole class do this, you can pretty much get rid of the red ones and just keep a box of adjectives and a box of small objects. And the next time a kid has a line like, all I wanted was her love, you say, why don't you just make that a metaphor? Grab an adjective or 2 and grab a object and say, don't just say all I wanted was her love, say all I wanted was the stillborn child of her love. Sometimes you get happy accidents. Enjoy rolling metaphors. It's a wonderful hands-on activity, I've found. Have a good year.